Hi everyone, it's Stacy with So Steady, and I am so excited to be here today to share one of Melissa's amazing projects that she created using so many of the tools in the Elevate quilt box for second quarter. So our spring box. So she is going to be using the decorative thread ruler foot today. She's going to be using both of the templates that were in that box. She's going to be using the decorative thread that we included in the box, and she's going to be making the arrow quilt block twice to be able to add into her decorative pillow. So I am so excited to share this class with all of you. I'm going to be sharing a little bit more information after the live where we're going to be giving you links to be able to win the next box. So if you're already a club member, you might want to give a box to a friend or someone that you want to have be part of the club with you. Um, or we can look at giving you a credit for something else if you're the lucky winner, but we definitely would love for you to sign up, be part of the launch, and see everything you're going to be getting in our summer box. We are having so much fun preparing for that. We've got some amazing projects lined up from you from all of our awesome educators, so I know you're going to love it. And so today, Melissa is going to be diving into this gorgeous decorative pillow project for all of you to enjoy. And of course, have no fear. There's instructions and there's additional content available on the university class for all of the Elevate Club members. So if you haven't already, get signed into that class. The information to sign in is in your box. It's on that cute little card, and there's a QR code to scan and enter into the information. So we're so excited to get started. I love seeing everybody here from all over. We've got Texas and New York and Michigan represented. We even have Jan in Oregon. Hi, Jan. I always love to. Oh, and then Nan from Sweden. Nan, you're up still. I know it's about bedtime for you. But I know how much you love Melissa and all of her projects. So you're definitely have been a big influencer for her. So thank you so much for saying that, Tracy. Tracy said that she loves her club box. We love hearing that. We want to make sure that you keep loving it. So please continue to share your feedback with all of us. If you are not already on our Westerly by Me page, we did ask for you to share some information on what you're most excited about, and we're going to keep asking because we want you to have a club box that gets you most excited, and you look forward to getting every single quarter to enjoy all of these classes with us. So, again, our goal is that your box is going to drive the education that you get for the whole next quarter. So then you're able to enjoy these classes and really dive in right there at your fingertips, in your sewing room. So let me go ahead and stop talking and let Melissa start showing you this amazing class. This is over an hour, so just be aware. You might want to pause it and take a bathroom break or something in the middle, but she does have two parts to the class, and so we're just over an hour with this one. So thanks so much, everyone, and we'll let Melissa take it away.
Hi everyone, it's Melissa with Sew Steady, and today we are going to focus on a fun pillow project with our arrows block. So I've got a lot of plethora of pillows here that I've done, and I thought just to kind of go over a little bit on the arrows block, which is our focus block for Q2 subscription box. This is what I started putting together when I first was thinking about doing a pillow, which this is very traditional as far as the size. I just put 4 of the blocks together, used kind of like a fun summer fabric with some strawberries and stuff on it. And this comes together so quickly. So you can do 4 blocks, put it together, add your backing and batting, do your quilting, and you've got a pillow. So I thought that, is always an easy way to do a pillow. That's very traditional. Here's another version of it where I just used some brighter colors. I changed the way that I laid out the 4 blocks. But again, it comes together fast. You could throw some quilting on this, throw it on your patio, and you've got a really fun summer pillow. So that is one way to do it. I do a lot of pillows like this shape, so I thought for this time I was going to switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to do a pillow that's kind of more along this shape, but I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I don't have one done yet, so we're going to be creating this one together, but I've got the vision in my head, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than this. But I'm going to do more of like a French country feel to it. So I'm going to do a lot of embellishments, kind of what you would see with maybe what they call slow stitching or hand stitching, which I'm not going to do hand stitching, but I'm going to do some embellishments on it. I've got our little buttons from our Q2 box that are going to be used. A couple other fun things that I might add. And then of course I'm going to do some kind of cottage French country inspired fabrics, which are going to be for the pillow. So it's going to be a little bit of a different shape. I think it's going to be a little bit of fun. I'm making it up as I go, so hopefully you enjoy this and hopefully it'll turn out cute. I love using different lace and different things. So I've got my little grab bag here with all my little goodies in it, and we'll see what we end up using. But hopefully it'll turn out okay, and hopefully you enjoy it. So to get started, we're going to create 2 arrow blocks. That's all we need. I'm going to create them a little bit bigger than the 6-inch block that you guys got in your box. So we're going to cut the squares at 2.5 inches. So 2 blocks, cutting the squares at 2.5 inches, and we're going to put together 2 arrow blocks to start. So let's get started. All right, so let's get our blocks cut. I have my 3 fabrics. The little light polka dot is going to be the background, and then I have kind of this really light like violet is going to want to be one of the arrows, and then a complementary that kind of matches it, but it's kind of a cream, and that's going to be the other arrow. So I am going to cut out my squares, and again we're doing 2 blocks worth, so and I'm going to do them at 2.5. So let me get this all situated and out of here so I can cut my fabric. I'm going to go ahead and get this all pressed, and I'll put my fabric together and then we'll cut it. So for the first fabric, I just need 6 squares. So I have my ruler at my 2.5 inch mark. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your ruler from the Q1 box if you got it, or if not and you already purchased it. They're great rulers. I love them. And again, there's different sizes of them. They're very handy, but I love the black guide that really helps you butt up against the fabric and give you a nice accurate cut. So 2.5 inches, and I just need 6 of this one. So I think just 1 strip is gonna do. So I will cut my 1 strip, and then I'll cut my, let me give myself a little bit more of a straight edge there at the end of that fabric because it was a little frayed. I hate it when it frays. And I just need 6 of these. So I'm gonna line that up. It's 2, 4, and 6. This fabric is so pretty. It's got little gold shimmeries in it, which I love. So there is my 6 blocks for that fabric, and I'm gonna get the other one prepped and we're gonna cut the other fabric. Okay, so this is the darker one, and I'm gonna need 12 of these ones, so double what I just did. So I think I'll cut 2 strips. See if that gives me what I need. Again, I'm going to cut a little bit of an edge on.
Second, and I'm going to try to reload it. I don't know that it will help, but it sounds like there was some audio issues. So let me go ahead and just remove this from the studio, and let me take a moment to see where we're at in the timeline. We're at 5 minutes in. All right. So I'm going to remove this from the studio. Sorry, guys. And then I'm going to reload it just because it sounds like there's some audio trouble in hearing it, and see if this is any better.
My line. There's 2, 4. Doing a project like this is one of my, I think I get the most enjoyment out of, because I'm not really following a pattern, kind of making it up as I go. And I always find that's kind of fun. I don't know, more creative, I guess. So let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8. Need 4 more. Then I don't have to worry about, did I mess up? Because I'm just kind of making it up as I go anyway. So 10, let's see, and 2 more. There we go. Oh, I guess I should iron that a little bit. Got a little bit of a kink there where it was folded. So I'll press that. Okay, and I just need my background fabric now, which is going to be the polka dots. Very light polka dots. It's very, I think this was a, what fabric is this? I think it's a poppy cotton. Yeah, I think it's a poppy cotton fabric. All right, so I'm going to press this and then get my background cut, and then we'll go over to the machine and get these stitched together. All right, so I have my blocks all set out over here. That way I have them in the right order. And I'm just gonna start piecing them together and create the arrow block. So hopefully this part should go fairly fast. I'm gonna try to be a little more accurate and work on my piecing when I do this though. The last one I did, I went super fast. Ouch, I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm trying to stab my finger, I think. Okay. So I'm just doing a piecing stitch and got my 1/4 inch foot on. And let's just get started. I really like these colors too. They're very soft, which kind of reminds me of the kind of French country look a little bit too. So it would be nice for summer as well. I know we do a lot of bright colors for summer, but sometimes the softer colors I think are pretty as well. Kind of a blush. All right, my next 4. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to think still of how I'm designing my pillow, since I don't have it totally worked out in my head, but I have a lot of photos. I love Pinterest. I get a lot of my ideas from Pinterest, and this is kind of a combination of, I don't know, 4 or 5 different pillow designs that I saw, and I kind of liked something different from each of them, so I'm going to do a little bit of a combo. But it gives you a chance to be creative when you kind of just see something, and again, you don't really have a pattern. You're just going to try to make it your own size and your own way, and you end up changing stuff along the way and come out with a really fun project. So that is going to be my goal for today. Oops, stay there. And then we'll be able to look at some fun designs that we can quilt on it. Sorry, I hit the camera. 2 more sets. You can still see. It's a problem with it hanging over my shoulder like that. I kind of hit it every so often. All right, next one. Last one, and then we'll go give these a press and finish putting them together, and then we'll just take a look at it before we move on, because we're going to do 2 of them. So we'll get this one done, take a look at it, and then I'll get the other one stitched out so we have our two, and then we'll start kind of building the pillow. All right, there we go. Go cut these and press these, and I'll be back. Okay, got those pressed, and now I'm just gonna continue putting the rows together. I like doing it in little sections to, again, make sure you don't stitch stuff the wrong way. But I think it helps keep me, I slow down a little bit too when I do it in sections and spend a little bit more time kind of being more precise with stuff. Last row, and then we'll put our rows together. Alright, I'm gonna go press these, and we'll be back and do our rows. Here's our 4 rows, and I'm just gonna put these ones together now. I pressed my seams going opposite so that we can get a nice nested little seam there. Hopefully get all our points to nicely match up, which I think they will. Let's see, spend a little moment here getting everything lined up. I like to get started and then kind of adjust it as I'm going. Keep everything in line. Do my next one. Looks pretty good, and these two go together. Again, I'm going to do them in sections so I don't get too ahead of myself. There we go. I will go press these 2 sections and then put them together, and that will be one block. There we go. All right, so I am going to press this, then do our next block, and then I'll be back with you. So here are the 2 squares that are going to be our starting of our pillow. And once I got this piece together, I squared them up to 8 inches. And so now I'm just deciding, so they're just going to be like this, and then our pillow is going to build out this way. So I was deciding how I wanted the arrows to go, so I could have them going in opposite directions. I could have them going in the same direction, or kind of meeting up like this. And I liked this, but I was going to do it the other way. So I think because this is going to be the edge of the pillow over here, I kind of liked the 2 arrows meeting up like this here. So this will be the design. I thought that will look good. And then we're going to start the other part of what we're going to do on the pillow over here. So I'm going to go ahead and piece these 2 together. Again, I squared them up to 8 inches. I'm going to put these 2 together. And then that's going to give me kind of like my set size for my pillow for the rest of the part that I'm going to do over here. It's a little bit bigger than I anticipated. I think I was going to have it a little bit narrower, but this will work. I think it'll look good. So I'm going to go put the pieces together and then I'll show you what we're going to kind of do over here. Okay, so there's those two pieces together. And again, I'm building my pillow out this way. The next thing that we're going to do is cut a strip of fabric. And this one I cut at 3.5 inches. So that way when I piece it over here and then we piece back over this way, it's going to be about a 3-inch strip right here. So what I'm going to do is just put this one onto the edge of this and stitch that down, and I'll be back. All right, so this is where we're at right now. And then next what we're gonna do is I've got this little piece of, I don't know, it's like a glittery, like edging lace. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch that on right there. It does not look nice. I think that'll look good. And I'm gonna use the invisible thread that we got in our box from Wonderful because it's the perfect color. So I'm gonna do a little zigzag stitch and just stitch this down right on that seam, and you're not going to even see it because the thread is almost invisible. And then I'll cut that off because that's what's going to go from the pillow in the back. And then that's going to be one little divider that we're going to put right there. So what that'll do is leave a nice area over here that we're going to do some quilting. And then I thought we'll do a little quilting like vine or something up right here. And then we have another piece of fabric that we're going to bring out on this side that's going to be a little bit longer too and give us that kind of elongated look. And then we're going to add a little frill or something, or buttons. We'll do something on this side too. Again, I'm kind of making it up as we go, but let's go get this stitched down and see what that looks like. Okay, so that is what that looks like. Again, I just did a little zigzag stitch all the way down. So, and I kept the stitches really close together so that's on there really well. Because again, it's going to be a pillow, so you know they kind of get tossed around and stuff. And I left this part of it, you know, so it's a little bit, give it a little bit of dimension there where this can kind of pop up a little bit. I'll just kind of pull that out a little bit and give it a little bit of a fluff there. Okay, so that's one part of it. Now we're going to lay out our next piece, and let's see. So I'm going to do a little bit of measurement here because I wanted it a little bit longer than I did taller. So the next piece will gonna make it a little bit wider, I guess. And what I picked out was this fabric. It's actually like supposed to mimic like a printed French newspaper that's all faded. So I thought that was kind of very shabby chic. So I am going to bring that out, and it's going to come up over here and give us a space to work with over here. So I'm going to get that cut and prepped, and then I'm going to, well, we'll come back and we'll lay it out first because I'm not sure if I'm going to add another divider here yet or if I'm just going to piece that straight to it. We'll see what it looks like and what other, if we want to add some lace or something else right there too. So I'll be back. All right, so this is what it looks like now. So it's going to be kind of the basis for our pillow. I'm liking it. So next I was trying to lay out what I wanted to do next as far as embellishments. And where did my little, where did they go? My little buttons. I'll get my little buttons out here too. So what I was thinking, before I get too far along, I kind of wanted to work out the kind of quilting I wanted to do on it. And we have our new templates that were included in the box. And I also have some different appliques. So these obviously weren't included in the box, but they were just some applique flowers. These were in a little dragonfly. These are also made from AccuQuilt dies. If you do have an AccuQuilt, they're a lot of fun because you get to come up with a lot of different shapes and patterns. This was a little dragonfly one that I found. And then this was just a different shape of a flower too. And it was already cut out in this kind of like, I don't know, French country fabric again. So I thought that might look good somewhere on here. I'm gonna have my buttons, and then obviously we're gonna do some quilting. And then I wasn't sure either about, I might still add some more lace. I might just add like I don't know, we'll make it up as we go, like a little X here with some fabric detail. It'll be fun though. And then I think for the buttons, I'm gonna put them at the top like this and have 3 buttons, and I'll just have 2 pinks and a purple like that. So that's how the buttons are gonna be. And I might use the decorative thread to put those on as well. I haven't decided yet. or I might just use the regular thread. But I think the decorative thread that we got in the box would match this really well because it's that silver. So I'll probably do that. And then I'll probably do the Spinifex feathers over here. So I might do a few of them, like a little collage of them. And maybe I'll do it in that pink thread that we got. Or if it's too bright, maybe I'll do it in the gray, so it's a little softer, kind of depends. And then I thought too, I could use this and just make a couple little like leaf vines going up. I thought that would be fun. We could do that. So right here. And then I'm not sure what to do over here yet. I'm still kind of playing with this area. We'll figure that out. But let's kind of get this set up, how we're going to do it. I'll get my buttons kind of on there in place so that way I know how much room I have here to quilt. And then I'll lay out the Spinifex feathers and how we want to quilt them on there as well. And then we'll head over to the machine and see how this looks. Right, there are the buttons on there, and I did use the decorative thread that we sent in the box to do the buttons, and I think those look really good. I'm just doing 3 of them, and I'm gonna stop them up there. I thought I got them spaced correctly. They're a little off, but I don't think you'll notice. So now I'm going to do some quilting, and what I was trying to decide if I wanted to use the pink thread that we got in our box, or if that was like too much. But I think actually it'll be nice. At first I thought maybe it'll be too bright, but I think it will actually be really pretty. So I was trying to decide, I think I'm going to do 3 again, like 3 flowers, because I have like the 3 buttons. I'm going to stick to that a little bit. So maybe I do like a bigger one to 2 small ones, or 2 small ones into a big one, and I'll kind of offset them a little bit. Maybe start up here, 1 here, and then 1 here. See how that looks? I think that'll work. And then I can always put like a little ribbon. So like a little ribbon is my, instead of doing like an edge to edge line, I could do the flower and then a little ribbon connector to a smaller one and then a little ribbon connector to the other one. We'll do something like that. So I'm gonna go over to the machine, get set up, and we'll do some quilting on this. All right, so we are going to do the 4-inch Spinifex feather first over here, which is the bottom of the pillow. And I just have it centered in the middle of that block. Because then what I'm going to do is I'll offset a little one here and then a little one here. So I'll come little, little, and then big one. And then we might do some other stuff in here. I don't know yet. We'll see how it looks. So again, we're just kind of making this up as we go. So I had my crosshair lines marked. So I got 8 of them. Oops. I'm just starting out a little slower so I don't have to pick out any stitches. And I'm just following the same process that we used doing the mini quilt block. Just going up and back down, and then stopping, and then I'll rotate to the next one. It's a little different doing this because I don't have backing and batting on yet, obviously, because it's a pillow. So it's kind of different to see how the ruler work works when you're just doing it on the 1 layer. So I have my foot just a little bit lower so I get a little bit more pressure on there. And with my machine and the ruler foot, I do have a little bit of leeway, so that's kind of nice. And I don't think that color is going to be too harsh. I was a little worried it might be a little too loud because I'm doing such a soft like fabrics, but I think it'll look pretty. Don't know if we'll do any veining like we did on the mini quilts or not. We'll see. I think it does look nice. Maybe just 1 vein. Oops. Oh, I got off track a little bit here. Let me get my thing back aligned here. I think I got stuck on my, let me look at that. I think I got stuck on my seam underneath on the back side. I did a little bit. Got hooked up right there. That's okay, because I can kind of put this back where it needs to be. Line myself back up. And then I should be able to come and follow that line still exactly as it was and not mess up my design here. And I'm just going to come back down right there because I already did that one. So just something to be aware of, I guess, when you're doing, you don't have the extra added layers, being careful. So it might pull and stitch. I guess I could have done like a stabilizer back there. This is how you learn though, right? I haven't really done it where I've just done it on one layer before, so I guess good to know. Maybe it might be pulling my fabric a little too much. We'll see. Usually you're doing it like ruler work on a quilt, so this is just slightly different. Let me turn it around this way. Okay, let's go press this and see what it looks like. Okay, so that is what that one looks like. So do you think we should add a couple little veins in this one? I was debating on whether I wanted to do it. And I did catch my seam back there a little bit, so I would say something, either use stabilizer, I guess we could put a little stabilizer on the back, or be really careful that your seams are nice and flat. Again, because we don't have any, I'm not using any batting on the back of this yet or anything for my pillow. I guess I should. I don't know. I don't usually, do I? No, I don't usually, I don't think. But I could put a piece of stabilizer on the back. And I might do that. Or I could just finish it and next time, no. I should probably put a piece of stabilizer on the back if I'm not doing my batting. I was just rethinking this though, because if I added the batting, it would kind of give it more quilted look to it. And then that would give it, I think, more stability too when I'm doing my ruler work. So let's do that. Maybe I'll do that. I'll add a piece of batting to the back of it just to give it a little bit more stability. And then we'll finish doing our quilting. So what I will do, again, for the quilting while we're here, I'll just continue talking about it. I ended up putting a couple little pieces of lace right here, really light pink lace, just at an angle. Again, it's just, I don't know, a little design idea. Thought it might look cute. And then I'll have the smaller flowers. I think I'll go like this, or I don't know, 2 smaller flowers somewhere in here, which I think will be cute. And then I'll probably do a little veining on those, and then we'll work on doing some leaf vine up the middle here and see how that looks. So I'm gonna go put some batting on the back of this while we're doing the quilting. Hopefully that'll work out and look a little bit better, and then we'll keep at it. I'll be back. Anyways, I went ahead and put some batting on it. This is like a fusible, it's fusible on one side and it's really thin, but it gives that nice smooth surface when I'm doing the ruler work. I don't catch my seams like I did. So I think it still looks okay, but it kind of caught and made it a little wonky. But so I'm gonna come back and I think I'm just gonna add the little contour lines like we did on the mini quilt. I'm just gonna do, I think, 1 per. And then we're gonna do a couple of the smaller flowers. We're gonna do 2 of the smaller ones up here. And then I just added this little fun lace at an angle here. And I found I had some little teeny pearl beads. So I'm gonna come back and put some little pearl beads on that. when we're done as well. So I think, and that will kind of finish this side a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting the lines on this one, and then we're gonna quilt the other two, and then we'll move on to this middle section. So let me get myself ready here again. I think this will be much easier to work with now that I got my batting on there. I don't know how I missed that. All right, let me get the camera set back up here again. And, oh, there's another little, let me cut that out of there. My scissors, wherever my scissors are at. Don't need that. So, let's get this in line here. And where was my, what did I use, last time for figuring out how I wanted to do the little contour lines. Just gonna use my little stitching line disc. I thought that was kind of handy. Hang on, let me get my camera in there before it falls out. That way I kind of knew where I wanted it to come out. So let's see. We're gonna kind of turn it right here. Maybe have the line kind of come up right there. Actually, I'm going the wrong way. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's start that over. This is what I wanted. Okay. So, about right. I think about right there. That'll look good. I think that'll give it a little bit of something. Well, just a little something, something. Have you guys got a chance to practice doing this yet? Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's a great template, and I love the look of it. Makes me think of these little plumeria flowers. It's really fun to play around with. Okay, let's see. That's what that looks like. There, I think that looks good. Not too much, not too little. So we're gonna go ahead and do these other two. I'm gonna get my crosshair lines all drawn up, and then I'll be back with you. I'm gonna turn this off so I don't keep bumping the camera when I draw my lines. Okay, so I turned off my camera and forgot to turn it back on, and so I got this one done. Which is probably fine because I kind of messed up over here. I got my template cut hooked on here and I messed up anyway, so we'll pretend that one looks pretty good, but it kind of got messed up. So I got that one done, and I'm going to do the next one right here. Again, I'm just going to do the smaller one again and get myself lined up. And we're just going to do a smaller one over here. trying to think of what I wanted to do for the leaves while I'm working on this part of it. I want them to be more like a vine, or if I want to add something to connect the flowers. I haven't decided yet. Like, I don't want to do too much. Oops. Pay attention. This is what happens. I get to daydreaming about what I want to do, and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing right now. Just getting this flower stitched up. Or Spinifex feather, I guess. Let's see. I think we've got lots of options, so we'll come up with something fun. And last one. Yes. I turned down my speed a little bit too. Okay, I'm going to add a couple of the contour lines again. Let's do it right there. I like how you just kind of keep going around. So you just do your one rotations and then keep going around to add your little lines. I'm not really measuring this time, I'm just kind of eyeballing it, making it a little bit more random. You can measure it if you want it to be a little more precise when you're doing your lines, but I'm okay with it being a little random. Not quite perfect. Oops, moved my template before I was done. All right, I'll go press that, and then we'll decide if we want to do anything to kind of connect those. I could do a little leaf here between it. I think that might look pretty, so I might do that. Might come up and do a little leaf and a little leaf, maybe just 3, so 2 and then a third one. So let me go press this and we'll be back. Okay, so what we have set up here is I'm going to use the leaf side of the template on our Spinifex, and I'm going to create a leaf coming up and then another one that's going to kind of come over here, and I'm going to use the decorative thread that we got in our box. So I was just kind of laying it out. Again, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I wanted to give myself enough room to come up over here and not hit this necessarily. So let me get this out of the way too. This is another spool that I had, but it's the same thread. And I think I'm gonna put that up over here, kind of out of my way, but I can still pull on it. Oops. Got my zigzag stitch going on. And I'm just gonna give myself a couple little back stitches there to kind of get that nailed down, and then I will put this towards me a little bit. So hopefully I get it. Right, we'll see. Going to go really slow, following the curve around, make sure I'm really getting my decorative thread stitched down as well. I don't want to miss it as I go around the curve here, kind of keeping it in the middle. And you can feel when it catches it, so I can feel like, okay, yeah, I'm doing the right thing there. So I'm gonna kind of keep coming up over here. Stop for a second so I can kind of reposition my hand without moving anything. And again, I'm just gonna keep coming up over here till I get to the very top, and then I'm going to stop and flip the template. I think about right there. It's a really odd angle. Okay, and then I'm gonna flip the template and flip this around so I'm coming back towards me. Ah, a lot going on here. Okay. And I'm gonna have it come right back down to Bobby right there. So I want a little stem coming off of here. So hang on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. My dog was out there being all crazy, so I figured I'd check it out and see what was going on. Okay, so we're gonna come back down here. And I'll give it a couple little zigzag stitches there to kind of keep it in place. So that's one leaf. And then the other one, I'm just gonna, let me clip that. Where did I do my scissors? Left them over on the other table. So I'm going to clip that there. And I clip this one where I started too. And then the next leaf, I thought I would do kind of up here. So it'll be kind of like that. So I'll start, it'll be kind of like a half a leaf, I guess, because I'm going to start right here. And then I'll flip it and do it around on the other side. Kind of more like that, I guess. Something like that. Anyways, we'll see. Kind of. Again, kind of just making it up as we go. So if I wanted it like that, I don't want it running into my flower necessarily. We could make it a little thinner, perhaps. About right there, right there. I don't know, we'll just try it and see. If I don't like it, I guess I can always pull it out. Don't need quite that much tail on my decorative thread. I don't want to waste it, so let's pull this back up about right there. And I'll go ahead and give this a couple stitch downs right there. Okay. Get my hand on the other side of this. And let's work our way up here. again, just kind of making it up as we go. If we don't like it, we just take it out and redo it. And I can always stop at that first line if I don't want to go much further, which I don't think I do. So I'm going to come back around. Let me flip this around now. And oops. So let's see, I stopped right back there. So depending on how I want it to look, I can come back like that. What do you think? Now let's add a couple extra stitches right there. Clip that. Let's clip. Move this out of the way. Let's see what we got going on here. That one. My little thread there. There. So I think 2 is just enough. So we can add our little line in the middle if we want for a little vein. What do you think? I don't want to do too much more, so I want it to kind of stand, you know, not be over too much, I guess. But then I was like, maybe I should have one leaf over here too. I don't know. We'll add a couple lines here, and then I'll go press it, and we'll take a look and see what we think. If we like that, and if that's just enough, we'll leave it at that. All right, let's get some lines added. So I'm gonna flip this around this way, and gonna put that right there in the middle. Oops, because I need a little bit of that out the back. And I need to rethread my here. Okay. Just trying to decide what I want it to look like. I think I want it to kind of come like that. Just give it a couple little extra nips at the end. So there's that one. Let me clip that. And then we'll do this one. Same thing. I'm just gonna kind of come up at a little bit of an angle. And I'll just give a couple little back stitches there at the end. And there's our 2 leaves. So let me clip up these little tails here. Clip up that little tail. There we go. So I'm just gonna go kind of press this down and then we'll see what it looks like. I think I'll probably just leave it like that because we're gonna have the backing of that. We don't have to come in 1/4 of an inch to put our back of our pillow on. And again, I don't want it to be too crowded. I'm gonna add some little pearls up here. And then I think we'll work on this section here. And then we can always come back later if we want to add more stuff to it, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. That way I'm not overdoing it. Just kind of keeping it a little bit more simple. So I'll be right back. All right, so I am getting ready to, we're gonna do the middle part now. So I just wanted to show you how everything turned out. We went ahead and did obviously you saw the Spinifex flowers that we did. I got the decorative thread using the leaves. I went ahead and put some little, I had these like little pearl, you can buy the little, I guess, crystals that have the little glue on the back of them. You can get little pearls too. So I did that and I put the little pearls on the lace there. And then I had some of the crystals in like a little mauve. So I added a little crystal to the middle of the flowers too, just to give it a little bit of something extra, a little more sparkle. And then I had a green lace piece. I just had a little bit of a piece. And so I just put it right down there and I just used some steam tape and put that right on there, so that'll look good. And again, I'm just kind of adding little embellishments as I go. No rhyme or reason, just what I think might look good. And so now we're gonna do a little vine up the middle here. So I've got some green thread that I'm gonna use. It's not really dark. It's just kind of a lighter green thread because I don't want it to stand out too much. But we are going to use the other template we got in your box. So this will be exciting. Get that threaded here. So we're going to use this one right here. It's a stationary feather. And what I'm going to do first is use this, and I'm just going to travel up and use this to create the vine first. And then we're going to come back and we're going to use the little finial, and we're going to add little finial leaves that go all the way up. So that is my vision. Course, we'll see how it actually translates into real life, but that's how I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to start and work my way up. I don't know if I'm going to double stitch it or not, if I'm going to just do a single all the way up, or if I'm going to come back down. And I'm going to get myself laid out and then see if I need any markings on here too to help me keep me nice and straight. I might add that so I don't get all wonky on my way up. But that's what we're gonna do next. So hang tight while I get ready and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm just butting this up. I think for placement, I'm just gonna use this vertical line here, and I'm right at where these 2 lines are just touching the silver part of my lace over here. So that's kind of what I'm gonna follow as I line myself up all the way down. And I'm just gonna get started here and work my way down. I'm gonna get to a good stopping point. I'm gonna bring this down, make sure it's kind of where I wanted it again, about right there. All right, there we go. That should be about right. I'm just going to go all the way to the end. And I'll just do a quick little back stitch too to kind of set that in there. And then I'm going to come back and do the backing. That makes it tight. So there we go. Oops. So that's just going to be my little vine there. I might try to get it a little bit closer. I might have to use a different foot. I might get it a little bit closer to that, but we'll worry about that later. Now what I'm going to do is just add some little finials, and I'm just going to alternate them all the way up. So we'll do our first one probably down here. Kind of position it, figure out how I want it. And we'll get one started down here. Let's see, get myself figured out here. And hopefully you can see this. It's a little bit a ways away because we're working at the bottom right now, but I'm just going to go around and come back down. Oh no, I do have that on there. Just like that. So I've got one, and I'm just going to work my way up. Do little ones along the way. So let's do our next one. We can add more or less as we see fit. I might add one more over here, maybe so it doesn't look too plain as we're working our way up. Wasn't sure if I wanted one right there or not, but let's do it. And let's see what kind of angle we want on that one, maybe like right. And again, if we don't like it, we'll just take it out. Another one over here. So we might come back and add one right here. We'll see. Let's just work our way up. I keep changing my mind on what I want, but we'll come back and add more as we want, as I feel like they need it. Okay, let's do another one. We're gonna do this one kind of like that one too. Trying to change the angle of them as well, kind of make them more unique, realistic. This is a really great set of templates we've got because, again, they are just so versatile. There's so many things you can do with them. I really like them. Another one over on that side. I gotta be careful with because my flower button is kind of hitting my template here, so my template isn't sitting all the way flat, so I'll have to be careful when I'm coming around to my other edge that I little slower. And let's put one more on this side too, since I kind of got off of my... was a little bit off on my stem there. And I'll do just like this. Yep. So what do you think? I'm just add in some more. So I might add one more here and one more here and one more here. Just kind of fill in the blanks a little bit. I think I'll do that. That back out. There we go. I'll pull out that little one I did there. It's too much. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to try to get that up under there just a little bit further too. And then we could come back if you liked the decorative thread and you liked using that. Wonderful has a whole color line of their decorative threads. I think I have some green. So I could, in theory, come back up with a green decorative thread just in the middle there, give it a little bit more of a, I don't know, thicker stem right there, or we could just leave it like it is and have it be a little softer. I'll see, kind of look at it here for a little bit and see what we end up liking best. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do over here for the quilting. So that'll be fun too. We have this whole blank space over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit and then be right back. Okay, so here is where we're at. I ended up looking through the decorative thread that I have, and I did have some green from Wonderful. That was some that I already had. So I did come back and just add a little bit to the stem to just make the stem stand out a little bit longer. And I just used green thread in the zigzag, so that's what I used for that. And I thought I'd just show you some of the other colors. They have just, they're really nice colors. Actually, this was the green I used. So I have a darker green. I use this lighter green and a purple, blue, yellow, and a pink. So yellow is really pretty too. Anyways, if you don't have any of their decorative thread other than what was in the box, get some. It's a lot of fun. I love using it to embellish and I don't know, work on projects and do fun things. So there's that. And then also I was going to tell you about those crystals I was talking about. I bought this on Amazon quite a while ago, but you basically can get like a little kit if you haven't seen it before. And this is, you can plug it in and it's just the tip of this stays really hot and that's how you put the crystals on. Or I use my iron, uses the same way, but they give you a bunch. So I got a bunch of different, like just the clear ones. They give you one that comes in all different colors and they come in different sizes as well. And then this is what I got also for the little pearls. So they're flat on one side and then that's how you get them to stick. So this was just a kit on Amazon. This is called Quick Crystals Pro. And it comes with all of the crystals and everything and the gun and all of that. And then I just used some of them to put right here at the top because remember I couldn't get quite close enough there because I had already put my button on. So I thought, oh, I'll just put some little green crystals there and kind of finish that off. So that's where that ended up. So that's kind of our middle part. And then I also was just going to say this is a steam seam too that I use. That's what I use to do the little green lace down here. So I just put it on the back and then you just iron it on and it's kind of a permanently bonded on there. So this is where we're at. Again, I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do here. We talked about earlier, I was showing you, let's see, what did I do with those? See if I can find them. I had a flower and a dragonfly applique, which we could still use. I think that might be fun. Do something with a dragonfly and different kind of a flower. And then we can do some ruler quilting along in there. Maybe I'll have it kind of going like this. I don't know. Maybe kind of like that. Put this somewhere over here. And then do some ruler quilting in here. I'll play around with it a little bit, and then before I start, I'll come back on. I haven't decided quite how I want to finish that side yet, so I'm going to look at our rulers again, what we got, and what also kind of the rulers that we're promoting for our Q2 box. Maybe it's not one that you got, but maybe it's another one that we're still kind of focusing on. I'll pull them out and see. Maybe we do some waves across here with our spinning wave templates and just keep it really simple on that side. I might do something like that. So I will play around a little bit, see what we got, and come back with my idea to finish the rest of this off. Okay, so here's what I decided to do. I ended up doing what I talked about earlier. I added the dragonfly applique and this other little flower one I had, and then this flower one. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. And then I'm going to do some just simple quilting over here. I'm going to use, this wasn't included in your sub box, but it is one of the templates that we are highlighting this quarter. And this is the spinning wave number 1. So it's meant to have a pin in it, and you can quilt it in kind of a spinning motion like this and do waves, or kind of like a rays of a sun. But I'm just going to use it more as a stationery, and I'm just going to quilt waves up this in 1/2 inch increments all the way across, and that's going to be the quilting that I'm going to do. And I'm using just a very light variegated thread that kind of matches the colors over here too. It's kind of like a pink and purple with really light colors in it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to follow this along in 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to quilt this whole side as with these little waves, and keep spacing out and quilting it. So that's going to be the plan for this other side. So it's going to be a little more simpler, but it will have the applique on it that I feel like kind of are bold and stand out, but then won't really compete with all the little stuff we got going on over here. So let's get started. All right, so I am going to start at the top. And what I'm going to do is, so I have the seam line right here between those two fabrics. So I'm going to use that as kind of my guide. And then on this template, we have the 1/4 inch lines that are already etched on here, which make it really nice for, so I can keep like the waves at a consistent distance. So I was just trying to decide how far from the edge I wanted to start. And I think probably right there. And then I'm just going to start at the very, edge of my pillow fabric here. And I'm just going to keep that aligned here and kind of work my way down. And I'm not going super fast. I want to make sure I get a nice curve into the curves of the spinning wave. And when I get to that, I'm just going to stop with my needle down, reposition this, make sure I've got it lined up. And then I'm going to turn my speed down a little bit, and then I'm going to just keep going. Till I get all the way to the end. I'm just going to make these nice curved little wavy lines. I'm just going to reposition my hand a little bit better. And then just come all the way off to the end. I'm going to go back to the top and start again. So the nice thing too about the etched lines, so now I can come back out and I can put the etched lines like right at the peak of the last waves that I did. If I'm depending on how far away I want it to be. So I think I'm going to do 1/4 inch because that'll give me like a 1/2 inch. I'm going to line that up right there. Start again. And so I've got the lines just at the very top of the peaks of the little waves. And I'm just going to, oops, keep working my way down. And reposition my hands, and when I do, just make sure I'm lined up. Stop here, move this down, and make sure I'm lined up again, and just keep going down. Really easy, a nice way to just do kind of like an overall quilting. If you have something that you're, you know, that's maybe the background's kind of busy, so you don't want it to be take away too much of the background of your project. And there you can kind of see just some little waves that are just slightly in the background there. And I'm going to keep going. So I'm just going to do that all the way across the side of the pillow. And then we'll take a look at it and see if there's anything else we want to add before we move on to the back part of the pillow and the assembly. All right, I'm about 3/4 of the way done. I was just going to show you what it looked like. Hopefully you can kind of see it on there. I'll show it a little bit better when I'm all done. But yeah, it's really easy. You're just coming up and down. I guess I could do it across this way too, flip it and kind of go back and forth this way. But I kind of wanted it up and down. And that way too, because I'm going to be sewing all this, so I'll hide all this, you know, my ends of my threads there will get all hidden in the pillow seam part. So anyways, I was getting close to being almost done. So I was just going to do a few more on video of how I was doing this. So again, I'm just using that 1/4 inch line, and you could make it, you know, space them out more or less. You could come back and flip this then and do some the other way. And so that's an idea too. There's a lot of ways to use this template. I haven't played with it a lot, so this is kind of my first time playing with the spinning waves. I've always liked them. I just haven't really, just another one of those templates I just hadn't gotten around to yet. So I love that we're doing our sub boxes where we're getting some of these templates out and playing with them that maybe have been out there for a while. We just haven't used them yet. So this is one of them for me, and I like it. I want to say pretty easy to use. I think the hardest thing is just making sure you're lined up and then not getting distracted, because it is so easy to use. And then making sure I stop with my needle down before I move stuff. And then again, easy to replace and line back up. I'm just lining that line again to the peaks of my previous stitched lines. And then away we go. Easy little waves. Just gonna go right off the end there. Clip my threads and go all the way back up to the top. So yeah, that is how easy it is. Line myself back up right here. And away we go. I like the soft look of them too. They're kind of a soft rolling little wave. So I think that'll, oh, I gotta line myself up here. Got a little bit of ways. Go nicely with the little pillow that we're doing here, so. And it's pretty good. Okay, just a few more and then I'll get back with you and show you what it looks like, and we'll go on to the next step. All right, that is what it looks like. So that is gonna be the front of our pillow. What do you think? So I decided I was gonna play around a little bit more over here. I have some more lace and different pearl stuff, and I thought, no, I've got all this going over here. Let's just keep this simple. So we've got the simple quilting of the wave that you can see in there with the applique. And then I've got all of the other little bling items over here. So that was a lot of fun using the templates and again our buttons and doing the decorative threads. So I think I'm going to leave it like this and get a piece of fabric that we're going to do for the back. And I think I'm going to do some embroidery on the back, one of our embroidery collections that we're highlighting. And I'll just do an entire embroidered back, and then we'll just put the pillow together and call it good. So I'm going to do that next. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this part of it. And I'll be back with you when I have the embroidery designs picked out, and we'll go over and do some embroidery on the back. All right, here is our finished pillow. So I kind of already gave you a look at all of this, but this is just kind of an overview. Those were the arrow blocks. We did the little vining up here. I added the applique, then you can see the quilting we did in the background there. And then for the back, I just did a basic envelope back, but I did used one of our feathers edge to edge embroidery designs. So I just did it on one piece and then cut that and made like a little envelope back for it so it would look pretty on the back. Now it's a front, so now I just need to put a pillow in it. Anyways, that is the arrow pillow project. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. If you have any scrap pieces of lace and different things like that, pull them out and have fun with it. Make something different. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to the next class.
Thank you so much, Melissa. That was an awesome class. I'm so glad that everybody got to join today. There was some audio concerns that were expressed by a few of you. I definitely would encourage you, if you're one of our Club Box members, go on to the university because I could hear it just fine. My video was coming in loud and clear. So I don't know if it had to do with certain streaming areas or what, but we definitely would love for you to be part of the class and enjoy it. So take a look and see if the audio is any better there. Might even be better on the playback. You never know. So um, the other thing I wanted to mention is that we do have the opportunity for everyone to sign up for our Elevate Club Box. And so if you are interested in winning that box, or you want to be part of that, then I definitely would encourage you to join, to go ahead and sign up to win. That is something that we are offering in our weekly email we sent out earlier this week, but I will go ahead and post a link to that as well, and hope that you can sign up to win and join us on the 19th. We do have another box that's releasing this week. We have the amazing Sarah Diddy collection box, and she's got her second box releasing this week. So she's got more new fabric, new tools, new embroidery, all releasing tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to give you a couple sign up chances to win and join to learn more about what's in the boxes and how you can, be part of all of that fun. So I'll go ahead and include both of those right now. So the sign up to win and join. The first one is going to be for the Elevate Club box, and that's on June 19th. The other one is actually tomorrow, and that is for the Sarah Diddy Creative Collection box that is releasing tomorrow. And so you can sign up to win that and be part of that as well. So hopefully you'll join us for those lives. We've got more amazing education coming. Shauna Rennan is going to be doing practice panel C tomorrow, which is the arrow block that is the orange peel block. And I think that is just a stunning design, absolutely gorgeous. My mom did it earlier this quarter on her arrow project, and she did the embroidery portion. Well, tomorrow, Shauna is going to show us how to do it with rulers. And again, I think it's a pretty tricky design. I'm super excited for Shauna to show us how to dive in and do that with rulers. And that's going to be happening tomorrow during the 10 o'clock hour Pacific time. And then at 1 o'clock, we're going to be doing that launch with Sarah Diddy's Creative Collection box. So, all kinds of fun stuff to come. We've got Pam coming at us on Friday with her first Friday with Pam. And next Monday, we have a brand new live launching, which is called Odd Mondays with Donnell. And Donnell is going to be coming on every other Monday, doing a live and showing off fun designs on a lot of templates that you might already have right there in your library. If you don't have it, there's going to be special offers to get those templates from special dealers. So we'll have more information about that in the description, but definitely some special offers to get some of those templates. And Donnell's going to be helping show off some of those different templates that we have available on Odd Mondays with Donnell. So, all kinds of fun stuff going on, guys. Thank you so much for being part of our community. Please keep sharing and posting on Westerly by Me, and we'll look forward to having you join us again tomorrow. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks, everyone.